Hello, my name's Anita, and I have a currently inked review for you for the month of April. It was a pretty good month after a bumpy month of March. Let's get right into it. Well, for April, I was very, very mindful of the ink colors that I chose, and I'm always thoughtful about my pens because I just love the pens. You look at them, you kind of, I don't know, at least for me, you kind of eat your pen experience with your eyes first, and then you put the ink in it, and it's just the whole thing. It's a whole vibe, and I love it. So I was very thoughtful, more than usual, because March was kind of experimental. And it was not good for my mental health. It was kind of stressful. I didn't like that. So I kind of have a little rainbow-ish kind of lineup of ink colors. And it was a really, really good month. So first is a pen I pulled out. I like to use this in spring. Like I've had it for almost a year, so that sounds funny, but it's just such a summery looking pen with the pink and the ivory. It's the Laban 325 in Sakura, and it's currently inked with Diamine Cashmere Rose. And can I tell you, I was using this pen in my last video, which was an ink swatch video, and I thought it was hard starting. No, I wrote it dry. I didn't realize that I just kind of was reaching for this pen as much as I was in the month of April. It was just such a good writer. I loved it more than I thought I would. I thought I'd like it. I didn't really doubt that, but I loved it. It was so nice. Okay, Alexa. So, I don't know. I re-inked it. I did about a quarter fill so I could get a writing sample. And yeah, this was an amazing combination. The ink was nice and lubricated in this pen. This pen has a broad nib. It was my first broad nib pen. And oh my goodness, it was just so good. I have only the good things to say about it. It didn't feel dry at all. And there was no hard starting. I wrote it dry. I haven't written a pen dry in a long time, but I've also been using a lot of piston fillers. So there's just, there's no ink left. This was great. I may bring this pen back in April with a different ink. I haven't quite decided. Oh, not April, May. It's already May, y'all. I may bring it back with a different ink, but oh, it was just so good. Oh, it was great. I loved it. Next, oh, let's go in order, is the Hongdian 920. It has a medium nib, white and rose gold. It's a little thin for long writing sessions for me, but it was a good writer. And it's inked with J Herbin Corail de Tropiques. And it was great. But actually, I have to be honest, it was a good writer, but I amended the ink a little bit because it felt a little dry, and I like it to feel more wet. I like to see the wet ink on the page. I don't like a dry writer. So I added some of the Andoryllium ink wetter to, I put a sample in a vial and added just a tiny bit of the ink wetter to that. And then it was wonderful. I just have a little bit left. It was wonderful after that. I used it to jot notes. Let's see how much is still left in here, but I enjoyed it. Oh, there's still quite a bit. Yeah, the writing sample was good. I don't have anything negative to say. This was a nice combination, but it just needed a tiny bit of lubrication for my writing enjoyment. That's the best way to put it. For you, it may be okay, but for me, I just needed it to be a little bit wetter. Next up is my TWSBI Eco in white and rose gold, and it is still currently inked with Esterbrook Shimmer Tangerine. Now, I only had a sample of this, and I did not want to use it all in this pen. but it was a good writing experience. This TWSBI has a broad nib. There's some shimmer down there in the feed, to be expected. It did not skip. It did not hard start. It was nice. And I didn't use it anything out of the ordinary, I would say. I didn't just reach for it, not because I didn't like it or because it was bad, but I just had pens that I liked better. And I don't know, I kind of feel like I didn't want to run out either. That's weird, but I liked writing with it. It's very pretty. I did my journaling with it. I have a lovely writing sample with it. The ink didn't distribute evenly, I don't think, but I did enjoy writing with it. It's very pretty orange. It's very, very punchy and bright. I liked it. It shades a little bit too, so that's pretty cool. So that was a winner, I would say. Next up was a different combination for me. This is my first Esterbrook Estie Sea Glass. It's got a medium nib, and it, I believe, is still currently inked, excuse me, with Wearingeul Path. I first used this ink in December. My daughter chose it for a Jinhao that she frankenpenned. Oh, it's still plenty of ink in there. Well, I may just have to bring this back for May. But thought train derailed. This was the first time I put something in it that wasn't a tealy turquoisey kind of color, which kind of threw me a little bit. But there are more than just brighter blue greens in this resin. So I said, you know what, it's fine. You'll be fine. But I didn't reach for it that much. And when I got this pen, probably 8 or 9 months ago, it stayed inked. It stayed inked constantly. But it was a good writer. It still is a good writer. And at first I'd used Diamine Marine in it when I first got it. I had a sample of that. And then I bought a bottle of Wearingeul Wayfarer, which is a shimmer ink. It's a very fine shimmer. I loved it, and it stayed inked with Wayfarer. So this is a different experience for me visually. Both inks are very good, and they're not troublesome to use. I just didn't reach for it as much as I thought I would, and I'm gonna bring it back because I love the pen, and Estie has not let me down. I love the pen. I have a couple of them. So that was my Esterbrook Estie Sea Glass, medium nib, and it's inked with Wearingeul Path. Next is another Estie. It's the Winter White. I wanted a white pen to break up the visual colors of my pen lineup. I like bright colors, and especially in the teal family and blues and greens, especially teals and turquoise. So anyway, I was thinking I need white to break it up. And I have a couple of white pens, as you can see, but this, I don't have anything like this. This cracked ice resin is pretty cool. I like it. Anyway, I'm rambling. This Estie is currently inked with Diamine Sugar Snap from the 2023 Inkvent calendar. It's got a broad nib, and it was great. It's kind of a brighter green. It flowed so nicely. Oh my goodness. I loved writing with it. And the green is a little brighter than the muted greens I normally would prefer, but it was just such a good writer that I reached for this one more. And let's see how much ink is still in the pen. I was laying down, so I'm just trying to let the ink settle. Quite a bit. This will be back. I enjoyed writing with it. I did journaling with it. I'm not terribly behind on my journaling. I put Post-it notes in there to trigger my memories. And I did a writing sample, and I loved writing with this. This was just a joyful experience. I had pretty good experiences this month. I have no complaints. Next is my precious pen. Oh, I'm laughing as I say it. It is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande 2.0 in Planetary Nebula. and it is currently inked with Pelikan, Edelstein, Apatite. And this was amazing. I love the colors. I love the color of the pen. Leonardo has never let me down. I just love this writing experience. It was great. This is a piston filler, so I've got plenty of ink still in there. I can't tell how much, but there is still plenty. The pen will be back because I just got it in March and I waited until April to ink it. Yeah, talk about self-control. I'm proud of myself. So the pen will be back. It's just been wonderful writing with it. I love it. Oh my goodness. I just love the colors. The colors are my jam, and it's a good writer. Oh, I love it. Okay, next is my Pilot Prera with a medium nib, and it's in this blue-gray color. I forget what the official color is. And it's inked with Ferris wheel press, stroke of midnight. Now, usually I reach for Preras a lot, especially when I'm just jotting quick notes or making lists. I love this pen. Oh my goodness, this is such a great writer. I love this pen. I don't feel anxious taking it out. I'm not worried about, did I lose it? I mean, I would feel hurt if I lost it, but it's not like, you know, I lost my Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. It's just a Pilot Prera. I can grab another one on Amazon and all is well. It's such a good writer. And I'm probably repeating myself, but I found out when I visited the Atlanta Pen Show in April that Pilot makes their own nibs. So like, whoa, well, that explains the consistency. So I love this. I did not reach for it as much as I thought I would. But, okay, wait. I'm a little, I don't know, distracted today. I used about half the cartridge. Not too bad. I will not bring it back, but I will put it off to the side with my jotter pens, and I will write this dry. So I have no complaints about it, though. The Stroke of Midnight by Ferris Wheel Press, it's got a shimmer, which is cool. It did not clog the pen. The pen did not hard start. It was just a lovely Pilot pen experience, and I have no complaints about it. I just didn't reach for it because it was the color, to be honest. It was the color. It was nice, but that particular shade of navy, even though it's got a little silver shimmer, it just didn't, you know, light me up or anything. So I didn't reach for it that much as I would normally. Next pen is one I haven't used in probably close to a year. It is the Monteverde Mountains of the World in blue, and it's got a 1.1 stub nib, and it's currently inked with Vinta Dugong Bughaw. I hope I said that close to right. When I first got this pen, I put Diamine Celadon Cat in it, and it didn't go that well. I don't remember why right now. I'd have to look back at my notes, but I didn't enjoy it. And then I tried, I think, a different ink, or maybe not. I don't remember. I didn't have a good time with this pen, but I've learned something since I inked this pen. It's almost a year ago now. And with this ink, this high contrast, heavy sheening ink, I don't care about the sheen, but it was a darker color. That's what I was really looking for. It was wonderful. I loved it. I don't care about sheen, but this is a heavy sheener. It's kind of wild just how red it got. I used about a third of the fill, which was not bad for a pen that, you know, with a stub, it's a different thing, this broad stub nib. But it was fun, you know, it adds flair to just like your everyday writing. If your writing is halfway neat and you use a nib, like I guess an architect or a journaler or a stub, it just adds a little flavor and it's just so fun. So I enjoyed writing with it. I just didn't reach for it overly much, but it was fun. I liked it. I will be putting this pen off to the side and I will still write it dry, But I won't be bringing it back for May because I just want something else. I don't think it'll be back in May. I may bring it back later in the summer. But it was fun. No problems. It was great. Up next is my Jinhao Centennial 100 in the color Colorful. And it's currently inked with Birmingham Pen Co Hydrangea. And I'd used this pen previously with another sheening ink. Colorverse. Oh, I can't think of the name right now. I almost ran out of the sample. It was another blue ink with heavy red sheen. Maybe you remember the name. Comment down below if you remember which ink I'm talking about. So this pen has a medium nib, and I had no issues with any of the inks I'd used in it before. I think I've used a couple, but the Birmingham ink felt a little bit dry. So because I don't have to live with it, I added the ink wetter. I put a tiny bit into a separate vial from the sample I got from Lorelei. Her channel's handmade by Lorelei. And yeah, it was better after that. I think I did just a little bit too much. I hardly did any, but it doesn't take much. A little bit goes a long way. I'm gonna have that bottle. It's gonna be in my will because when am I ever gonna use all that? I'm just not. So, anywho, it was fun writing with it after I made the ink just a little bit wetter. It was just great. I totally love the color, totally my jam. Let me see how much is left in here. I didn't reach for it like that, but oh, I've still got a lot of ink in there, I think. Yeah, it's almost still full. I guess because the nib is, it's a medium, but yeah, I've still got a lot of ink in there. It's going off to the side, and I will write it dry over the course of the next month or so. But I enjoyed writing with it in April. I did journaling, I did a writing sample, which y'all have seen, and yeah, it was good. I have no complaints. It was just a little bit dry for my personal liking, so I took care of that, and then it was just sunshine and butterflies after that. Almost there. Back from, I guess, the last month or so is my Leonardo Furore in Aqua Petra, and it's still currently inked with Ferris Wheel Press Auroralis, and this was good. I have no complaints, nothing bad to say. This was just, I love writing with this. And I don't know, it's not like my most favorite shade of purple, but it was such a joy. I have about a little less than half a fill left, and I just love writing with it. I think, and I don't even need to do that. I have a whole bottle of this ink. I just found myself not wanting to write it dry. It's like, come on, Anita, change your mindset. The goal should be to write it dry. But I don't know. I did the normal writing things that I should be doing. I'm a little behind on my journaling, but the amount of journaling I did is a month's worth because I stay behind, sadly. So I did my normal amount of writing, but I just didn't want to write this dry. But I did write dry a lot of the pens that I put to the side. So there was an accomplishment there. So I don't know if I'm bringing back this pen, but I did like writing with it. But I may switch my lineup for May. I guess I'm still on the fence about that pen. If I bring it back, it's going to be with a different ink. I just don't know if it's coming back. Finally, Esterbrook Estie in Lilac, and it's currently inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Murasaki Shikibu, and it is lovely. Oh my goodness. I had a darker ink in here previously. I had 3 Oysters Purple Gray, and that was good. I liked it. It's more of a muted gray, purple, a gray leaning purple. And it was good, but I don't know. My color palette in March was just a little depressing, and I didn't like that. So I had to brighten it up. So I Did I write it dry? I think I did. And then I just put this ink in here and it's good now. I think I'm gonna bring it back again because I just like purple, but I hardly used any ink. And I don't remember if I used it journaling, but I did do a writing sample. I think I got through most of the pens, but maybe one or two I missed. So yeah, I like it. I really have, you know, a bunch of hits this month. So it was a really good experience, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to bring back my Lilac Estie for May. So, I didn't feel like being highly technical. I find that even though in the long run it will be helpful, and I may do it separately, like off camera, I still want to enjoy this hobby because it's good for my mental health. I love talking about pens, and I don't wear out my family talking about pens because they don't care like I do. So y'all are my pen family, and I just love talking to y'all about it because that's what we're here for. So, but I didn't want to be too official right now because I don't know. I'm still regrouping from March, to be honest. March was a lot. Those colors just didn't do it for me at all. Okay. So my top 3 pens in the month of April. Oh, this is hard because they were all good, but I'm going to not include the ones that I added the ink additive because they weren't purely good as they were. They needed a little help. So sadly, they get discounted. But the best pens for the month were, this was number 1. I loved writing with this. I wrote this puppy dry. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Cashmere Rose is so pretty. Yes, so that was the number 1. Number 2, oh yes, Leonardo. And not because it was Leonardo, but because it looks like this. This is such a pretty resin, and it's got this pretty ink. Yes, but I haven't written it dry, and I didn't reach for this as much as I reached for the Laban. Oh my goodness, that was great though. So pretty. I like those two together. I'm just in such a good mood right now. Okay, third place, the bronze medal goes to my Lilac Estie, because I was really happy when I picked it up. Even though I didn't pick it up as much as the other 2, I was happy when I picked it up. These are my top 3 pens. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Yeah. These pens will all be back. I'm pretty sure this is going to be back. If not in May, definitely in June. It depends on the ink. I'm going to look at my inks. I haven't done my curly inked for May. Not yet, but it's going to happen. So yeah, it was a wonderful writing month. It was just so good. And then now I've been meaning to buy an ink additive forever. When I found out what they were and what they did, I was like, I need that. I just didn't get around to it until I was at the pen show, and then I got a bottle right there. So that saved a couple of pens that would have been a little dry for me. They weren't dry at all. But yeah, all my pens were good. All hits, no misses, and that's a good thing. So anyway, I just want to say thank you for stopping by and the pen talk and the recap. And I will see you in the next video in a day or two. Currently inked for the month of May. Have a great day.